It is so hard to get out of a trauma bonded relationship, and actually often it's the person who's more on the narcissistic side who ends up ending it when they feel they've broken somebody. But it can take until that moment for that to happen. And so you're left feeling, if you are like the person who's like, am I crazy? Is it me? Am I the problem type thing? You're like, and I didn't even end it. So you've got the guilt factor going on then. Now, this is a really tricky time. Do I go, do I not? And some people could go round in this do I stay or do I go type fashion for years. Now, that is a head and a space all of itself, right? However, the trickiest and almost the most dangerous stage is the next stage, is when it's over. This stage is when we can forget, because the one thing that actually having and being in an emotionally toxic relationship is that your hippocampus gets shrunk. That's the part of your brain that creates new emotions and memories. So what can happen is you can forget all the shit that went on, all the bad stuff that went on, because you kind of just want to remember the good stuff, and you kind of in complete kind of you're in trauma, basically. You're in total and utter kind of like you're in freeze mode, whatever it might be. But so the most dangerous part is when it's all over, is the fact that either you go back into it, either you get sucked back in and the love bombing or whatever might start again, or you just, your self-worth is so on the floor you beg to go back, or you attract somebody just the same because you're in that energetic space. This is really dangerous, and this is where it takes a very conscious part of you to make conscious decisions and to understand yourself on a level so that you don't have those reactions, so you're not in a kind of a traumatized state creating more dramas. Because when you're trauma bonded, whatever's gone on, there's two people in every relationship, right? Whatever's going on, and part of you, whether you like to admit it, because I didn't like to admit it, likes the drama, needs the drama, needs that tussle, because that is what you know as love. And without somebody fighting for you or fighting you, or without that level of intense, even if it's awful, it's something. And however bad it is, it's better than nothing. And that's the problem. So then when you have nothing, or with that person, you have withdrawals. It's like a drug. And that's when the danger starts, because then if you pull away and you do all that work to get away, then you go back. Pulling away again is very, very, very tricky. So this is where you actually really need the support, and you need to know how to override your automatic reactions, your automatic responses, your automatic desires. It's about knowing yourself on the deepest level, so that when you feel that it feels like instinctive thing to go back, you are able to put measures in place to not, and to actually speak to yourself. It might be that you go back, but go back with a clear head, not a subconscious reaction, not out of fear, not out of loyalty, not out of mainly fear, anxiety, worry. And further down the line, even when it's well past, the problem is when you're pulling more and more away. If you have children together, or if there's any kind of tie you've got, that's when they ramp up the stakes, and that's when you can feel like you're truly breaking, because you're like, why are they lying about me? Why all my friends don't believe me anymore? Why is this happening? Why is that? And it can be so difficult, because you're like, hang on a sec, this person was horrible to me. And you can get very, very in your victim, and then rightly so, it's totally understandable. But the problem, while you're in your victim, while you're stuck there, you are helpless. You are literally at mercy of somebody else. And this is why it's really important to come and understand why you're in your victim, and how to actually consciously come out of it whilst honouring that victim state. And if any of this is ringing true, I genuinely I've been called, not for very long, because I think whoever needs to see this is going to see this, but for the next couple of weeks I'm going to open up a space 12 weeks of working intensively together, and then 3 months support after that, whatever you might need, to be able to break this cycle. And I'm not necessarily talking about a husband or a wife. This could be a cycle with anything that's toxic. That it could be with food, it could be with money. But this toxic cycle where you're in it and then you pull away and then you're in it and then you're in another one. So it might be that you're in a really crappy relationship and now you are got a spending issue, or now you have got a weight and food obsession. Whatever, the same thing happens. This toxic trauma bonded pattern. The dramatic, the need for it has to stop if you are going to have the life you want. So if you feel like there's a cycle that you're doing over and over and over again, and that you are looking for a space now to crack your own code, please, please, please let me know.